mà cái người mà ở Virginia mà đã đem cái cuốn phim để chiếu mà để đi đấu giải cho hội Á Châu hội Á Châu của phim festival ở DC cùng với US Khơi để chiếu cái cuốn phim này là Mạnh Nguyễn.
Xin cảm ơn quý vị đã tới góp phần tối nay. Back in May, we hosted an event at the National Historical Society Theater with Captain Jacob and a couple of his crew. The outcome was tremendous, and I also hosted at DLA Aviation in Richmond for federal employees, and planning on hosting some more high schools around the Virginia area. And again, I don't know what to say about thank you.
At this time, we wanted to introduce the VAAFA chapter, the VAAFA DC Maryland, Virginia chapter that we started here, and we want to thank the community leaders for supporting us. So if I can have Mr. Doan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the day of reflection, the day of remembrance, the day of prayers for almost 3,000 people who died in 9/11 attacks 10 years ago. Today, we honor the Vietnamese fallen heroes. And today is the first time the Vietnamese community knows that Vietnamese American Armed Forces Association. So we wish all of you, the members of the association, to be successful in the future. We Vietnamese American community are proud of you who are fighting for freedom values that your parents fought for and risked their lives to achieve them. And also, we like to express our support to your association, and we congratulate to the recipients of scholarship awards today. Thank you. God bless you and bless America.
Thank you so much, sir. And on behalf of VAAFA, we want to say thank you. And again, VAAFA is now coast to coast. We started the association in 2008 over in California, and now we are here. In between that, we were in Houston. So we remember our roots and where we came from. Although we have grown, we still remember where we came from. And so tonight we are so honored to have Attorney Nguyễn Xuân Nghĩa. He's actually the representative, the community leader over in California of the Vietnamese Americans over in Southern California. He's here with his lovely wife to join us and to share the support that VAAFA has enjoyed for so long from all of our Vietnamese friends and well-wishers. And yeah, please come on up and say a few words, please.
Thank you, Chris. Well, on behalf of the Vietnamese American Federation of Southern California, we believe that this event is so meaningful that we have the chance to pay respect to those who have fought during the Vietnam War, Americans as well as Vietnamese soldiers side by side, so that our young generation like Chris and myself could be safe at the city, so we can go on with our lives, to go to school, to go to the church. And then the fall of Saigon happens, and like all we know right now is it's not because of we lose at the battle in the war, but because of the strategy from the politician in Washington DC that we lose the war. But after that, right now, 36 years later, we have Vietnamese American Armed Force formed, and they done a marvelous job. Not only that we pay respect to our brothers that have sacrificed their life for the fight of freedoms, to show that we come here as a refugee, we honor freedom, and we continue to fight side by side until one day when Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, and around the world can enjoy the freedom like we enjoyed here. And I believe that for all of us together here tonight, that is the good cause, and that will be continue to the future. And I applaud for the job that VAAFA have done, and we on behalf of the Vietnamese American Federation of Southern California, we're gonna support you, and not only support you, but we're gonna shake hand with Mr. Do Hong Anh, representative of the Vietnamese American community here, so that we can continue our fight until freedom, democracy, and human rights will be brought back to Vietnam. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Ian.
Okay, VAAFA would like to pay tribute to some special families tonight. And there are 3 Gold Star families in attendance tonight who have lost their loved ones in Afghanistan or Iraq. We'd like to have these families come to the stage at this time. First, we would like to recognize and thank Kristen Santos Silva and her son Cameron for honoring our community by attending our banquet. Please come forward. So we have this plaque here for you, and it's a Courage and Hope Award, and it reads, "We acknowledge your grief and honor the loving memory of your husband and dad." Okay. Sergeant First Class Carlos M. Santos Silva, who had made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation's freedom. Your strength and courage in the face of such loss inspire us all. From the Vietnamese American Armed Forces Association, Washington, D.C.
As I wrote on my Facebook page this morning, exactly 10 years ago today, my husband and me were residing in Fort Drum, New York, and he was in Fort Polk, Louisiana, doing JRTC training. And we weren't sure if they were going to come back or if they were going to send him to New York City to help out with the terrorist attacks up there. And then 2 years ago today, my husband actually moved in with me, body to Afghanistan, and he obviously didn't come back home because he was killed in action March 22nd, 2010. But a year ago today, we celebrated with Charlie Company 2508 out of Fort Bragg, North Carolina, where my husband was at. We celebrated a year ago today that the platoon did come back, minus the 5 soldiers out of 2nd Charlie 2508 that did not return. So for us to be here tonight is a very special privilege. So thank you all so much for having us.
Second, we wish to honor Mr. and Mrs. Sung Nguyen, the parents of Specialist Dan Nguyen, the United States Army, who gave the ultimate sacrifice in Afghanistan in 2007 by awarding a Fallen Heroes Scholarship in the name of Specialist Nguyen. VAAFA remembers and honors the courage of Dan and your family. Know that we will always be part of your military family. Mr. and Mrs. Sung Nguyen, please come up.
Unfortunately, Mr. and Mrs. Sung Nguyen could not be with us tonight. I believe they sent a family representative, but in the event that they're not here, we will make sure that the word gets to them. Thank you very much.
We would like to still read the plaque in dedication of the loving memory of Specialist Dan Nguyen. On behalf of a grateful nation and the Vietnamese American community, the Vietnamese American Armed Forces Association hereby establishes its Fallen Heroes Memorial Scholarship in loving memory of Specialist Dan H. Nguyen, United States Army, who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country. It is our hope that this scholarship will forever honor Dan's life and selfless devotion to duty by helping future generations of worthy young students to pursue their dreams and inspire a lifetime of public service. Vietnamese American Armed Forces Association, Washington, D.C., September 11, 2011.
Third, we wish to honor Mr. and Mrs. Lung La, the parents of Corporal Bin Lay, United States Marine Corps, who gave the ultimate sacrifice in Iraq in 2004 by awarding a Fallen Hero Scholarship in the name of Corporal Lay. VAAFA remembers and honors the courage of Bin and your family. Know that we will always be part of your military family. And the plaque reads, VAAFA Fallen Hero Scholarship in loving memory of Corporal Bin and Lay, United States Marine Corps. On behalf of a grateful nation and the Vietnamese American community, the Vietnamese American Armed Forces Association hereby establishes its Fallen Heroes Memorial Scholarship in loving memory of Corporal Bin and Lay, United States Marine Corps, who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country. It is our hope that this scholarship will forever honor Bin's life and selfless devotion to duty by helping future generations of worthy young students to pursue their dreams and inspire a lifetime of public service. From the Vietnamese American Armed Forces Association.
On behalf of the family, we would like to thank you, appreciate that VAAFA have commemorated all the fallen heroes who have served the country, including all American and Vietnamese, including my son, Marine, Corporal Marine Ben Lee. I hope that this scholarship for 13 fallen heroes will be a little a token to appreciation what they have done for the country, and I hope that in future and all the Americans who served the Iraq and the African War, those people, those soldiers will have a name, a scholarship like this 13 fellow American. Thank you.
Though VAAFA is focused on the future success of our young people, we continue to be inspired by the success and wisdom of our elder. We are very blessed tonight to have not one but two very senior in rank leaders who are not only highly successful, but care deeply about mentorship and community. We are very lucky this evening to have Major General Tony Taguva, U.S. Army retired, as our special guest speaker.
Good evening, everybody. To our special guests here this evening, to the Gold Star families, to our elected officials and their representatives, our distinguished veterans. Give me a hoo-up, please, distinguished veterans. All right, you're kind of weak. To our audience this evening, to Mr. Tom Phan, our keynote speaker, to our fallen heroes and our loved ones, and of course, our ladies and gentlemen. I want to especially thank the Vietnamese American Armed Forces Association, especially to Mr. Tino Bin, and his organizing team for inviting me to join you here this evening, especially in remembrance of the 10th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks in the United States. It's a somber evening, of course, a somber day, and today's a day of remembrance. As we all know, the date is September 11, 2001. Was a lifelong changing event, not only for our country, but for the rest of the world. And as we mourn the thousands of lives lost at the World Trade Center in New York, in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and at the Pentagon, let us also remember the thousands of men and women in the United States Armed Forces who were killed in action and combat for protecting our country. And to the many thousands more who remain wounded in action today, and of their loved ones who are deeply affected. And to be exact, over 6,100 so far have paid the ultimate sacrifice, and over 47,000 have been wounded. And we still have 2 soldiers who are prisoners of war being held by the enemy. We have been at war since 9/11 in Afghanistan, Iraq, and other faraway places. And our country will continue to be in a period of persistent conflict for the foreseeable future. And so far, for those of you who are interested to know, some 2.3 million men and women in the United States Armed Forces continue to serve in Iraq and Afghanistan today. Now, General George S. Patton, an American war hero during World War II, once said, and I quote, "The highest obligation and privilege of citizenship is that of bearing arms for one's country." So tonight we honor and pay tribute to the 13 Vietnamese American heroes who answered our nation's call to duty. They embodied our nation's spirit of courage and dedication. They protected our way of life and defended our nation's borders. They are part of America's greatest treasure, young men whose average age is 24 years old, and their uncommon courage to fight for our freedom at the cost of their lives serve as inspiration for us Americans sitting here tonight. Now, each of them fulfilled a solemn commitment to serve our nation and gave their lives willingly. They followed a lifelong tradition of loyal and faithful service, like the unselfish sacrifice our veterans have made, especially those who served during wartime. It begs to remind ourselves that several of these men were not even United States citizens when they joined the military service. They were awarded their American citizenship posthumously upon being killed in action. They were willing to give up their lives for the sake of living in this country, a country not of their birth. Their unforgettable experience is a lasting story of inspiration and forbearance. Our nation must remember this history. We must remember them. Now, I recall reading about Corporal Ben Lay in the Washington Post in December of 2004. His parents are here tonight, as you know. He was killed in action, was assigned to the 5th Battalion, 10th Marine Regiment, 2nd Marine Division at Al Anbar province in Iraq. He was a proud Marine who came to the United States when he was 6 years old to live with his aunt and uncle in Alexandria, and he left his parents behind in South Vietnam. He was a tough Marine, a little guy who served in uniform without question. Now, Corporal Lay represents the unselfish acts of gallantry and heroism of his fellow immigrants on the battlefield that exceeded only by their desire to gain the privileges of citizenship for their family's honor and to preserve their dignity. The 13 brave men who died paid the price of gaining their American citizenship. Their sacrifice is a lasting story of unquestioned inspiration, and for all of us to bear and for all of us to honor. Now, they joined the ranks of thousands of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders who have served and continue to serve our nation today. This is what it takes to live in this country. The oath we took as United States citizens is to obey the laws of this land and to defend our freedom each day. We should not forget or squander this privilege because it is so precious for us to have. So today truly is a special day. We are assembled here eating Chinese food, having a great old time, and commemorating the outstanding contributions of the Vietnamese American community in defending our country. So my sincere thanks to the Vietnamese American military veterans, to the Gold Star families, to the veterans who are serving today and those who have served, and to the government and community leaders of our for your enduring and steadfast support. And despite the adversity that face Asian Pacific Americans and the veterans who serve under them and their families, it is truly the example display of pride and honor and perseverance and fulfilling their obligation and commitment to serve as proud American citizens like all of you are sitting here tonight that continues to resonate today. My sincere congratulations to the scholarship recipients and to the Vietnamese American Armed Forces Association for their contribution to enable the lives of students and for them to achieve educational achievements on behalf of those that we memorialize today. So God bless you. God bless our troops deployed in harm's way and their loved ones. And God bless America. Thank you.
Major General Taguba, on behalf of VAAFA, we would like to present this award as a token of our appreciation, as well as a donation in the amount of $200 to the Major General Antonio Taguba Scholarship Fund, which helps students in the Asian American Studies program at the University of Maryland. And the plaque reads, Leadership Award presented to Major General Antonio M. Taguba, U.S. Army retired, in recognition of your leadership, dedication, and vision in founding the Pan-Pacific American Leaders and Mentors organization that advocates mentoring and promotes professional development, retention, and the advancement of Asian American Pacific Islander leaders. The Vietnamese American Armed Forces Association and the Vietnamese American community appreciates your friendship and your service to our nation. Thank you very much.
Our next keynote speaker for this evening is Mr. Thomas Phan. Mr. Phan is the Executive Director of the Asian American Government Executives Network and is a member of the Senior Executive Service, the highest echelon of civil service in the U.S. government. He currently serves as the Director of the Office of Policy and Business Operations at the Office of Science in the U.S. Department of Energy.
Good evening, Lieutenant Commander Phang, Mr. Tino Ding, and members of the Vietnamese American Armed Forces Association, member of the U.S. Armed Force, member of the former Army of the Republic of Vietnam, Arvin, General Du Lang, and all of the generals in the Vietnamese National Military Academy of Fort Lee, Đà Lạt. I am Thomas Phang, currently the Executive Director of the Asian American Government Executive Network and the Director of Office of BPO, U.S. Department of Energy. I would like to introduce Adjunct Chair Tommy Huang. Can you stand up? And the board member. Thank Tommy and member for entrusting me as the Executive Director for Adjunct. And thank PAPAC, the President, Dr. Wong, you still here? And Dr. Peter Nguyen and Hung Nguyen. I would also like to thank General Taguba for his insightful remarks and outstanding message. Today is September 11. Let us recognize the men and women who lost their lives 10 years ago on this day during those horrendous terrorist attacks on our country. Last but not least, let us pay our tribute, respect and hope to the members of the U.S. Armed Forces who are missing from our midst. They are with us in our heart, and we hope for the day they come home. Remember, my talk this evening have a three short part. First, I would like to ask your permission for me to have an open message directly to all members of the Vietnamese American Armed Forces. Second, at VAAFA request, I have some brief episodes on my life during Vietnam War and how do I escape and came to the United States, and then a conclusion. Kính thưa quý vị quan khách, thưa các anh chị thuộc hội quân nhân người Mỹ gốc Việt, kính thưa tướng Lữ Lam và các tướng lãnh của trường võ binh sĩ quan Việt Nam. Thật là hân hạnh cho tôi được chia sẻ bức thư ngỏ này về những cảm nhận của người chiến sĩ Việt Mỹ. Qua đôi giây phút ngắn ngủi tâm tình, tôi mong các anh chị sẽ hiểu thêm và nhìn thấy được tinh thần của một người chiến sĩ Việt Nam. Là một cựu chiến sĩ của quân lực Việt Nam Cộng Hòa, đã tham dự vào những trận đánh vào những ngày tháng cuối cùng của tháng 4 năm 75, khi miền Nam Việt Nam rơi vào tay Cộng sản. Đi tù cải tạo 5 năm, đã thoát ra và được tái sinh ở đất nước tự do Hoa Kỳ. Tôi xin được nói với các anh chị về tinh thần đấu tranh và tinh thần xây dựng của người chiến sĩ Việt Nam. Dear all distinguished guests and honorable members of the Vietnamese American Armed Forces Association, it is my honor and privilege to share with you my impression and experience of the Vietnamese warrior legacy. Through this brief heartfelt dialogue, I hope to impart upon you the spirit and the character of a Vietnamese warrior. As a Vietnam War veteran myself, I fought until the last moment of April 75, when South Vietnam fell to the communists. Survived 5 years in the concentration camp, escaped and successfully adapted to the new culture in the United States. Now I would like to talk about the fighting spirit, the camaraderie and the community building character of the Vietnamese warrior. Dân tộc Việt Nam ta có lịch sử 4.000 năm văn hiến và 4.000 năm di sản của quân nhân chiến đấu trường kỳ. Bên dòng lịch sử văn hiến là những quá trình lập quốc, đấu tranh và xây dựng. Lập quốc là công lao của tổ tiên ông cha chúng ta, là công lao của mỗi một người dân nước Việt. Trong thời chiến, người chiến sĩ Việt Nam vừa là dân và vừa là quân. Là quân để đấu tranh cho sống còn, giữ gìn làng xóm, là dân để xây dựng nhà cửa, làng mạc cho thế hệ con cháu mai sau. Bây giờ chúng ta sẽ nói qua một phút về hình ảnh và phong cách hào hùng của người chiến sĩ Việt Nam. Đạo sống của người xưa có câu tu thân, tề gia, trị quốc, bình thiên hạ. Chiến sĩ Việt Nam mang cái hào khí của đấng nam nhi và thanh nữ, với đầu đội trời và chân đạp đất. Tôi xin chia sẻ hai câu thơ của Nguyễn Công Trứ. Đã trót sinh ra trong trời đất, phải có danh gì với núi sông. Vietnam has 4,000 year history rich in culture, tradition and civilization, including 4,000 year warrior legacy. This long history has seen a continuing process, building the country, ongoing fight for freedom, and the nurturing of communities. We are in debt to our forefathers and to each citizen of Vietnam for the establishment and preservation of the Vietnamese motherland. When the country is at war, the Vietnamese soldier is both a warrior and a builder. As a warrior, he fights to protect the country. As a builder, he builds home, builds village, community for the future generation. The characters of the Vietnamese warrior is based on the ancient philosophical doctrine which set forth the following priorities. First, achieve self-awareness and improve yourself. Second, establish a happy family, harmonious family. Third, serving your country. Then finally, bring peace to the world. If one have not achieved the first two of these, that is, one have not understood himself and achieved stability within his family, then it's very difficult to want to serve the country and bring peace to the world. In the word of the poet Nguyễn Công Trứ, demonstrate heroic virtue and carry principle of a person standing on earth and under the heaven. Born under heaven and earth, one must bring fame and honor to one's country. Vì hào khí phải có danh gì với núi sông, nên chiến sĩ Việt Nam sống với châm ngôn tổ quốc, danh dự và trách nhiệm. Tổ quốc phải đứng hàng đầu. Các anh chị thân mến, hai chữ trách nhiệm của người chiến sĩ Việt Nam vừa là quân vừa là dân. Trong châm ngôn đã diễn tả hình ảnh yêu thương, khiêm tốn, hiền hòa, dũng cảm và bất khuất của người dân đất Việt. Đặt trời lên đầu, gánh vác sơn hà trên đôi vai và mang tình thương của gia đình trong con tim. Due to the heroic virtue that a Vietnamese warrior must bring fame and honor to the country, he or she must live up to the motto, country, honor, responsibility. Country first is the foremost. Responsibility is a reminder to the Vietnamese soldier who is both warrior and builder, to demonstrate the loving, humble, modest, gentle, virtuous, heroic, and unyielding character of a model Vietnamese citizen. One must surrender to God, sacrifice for his country, and carry on unconditional love and charity for his family in one heart. Có đấu tranh là có hy sinh và chia ly. Trải qua nhiều thế hệ, chia ly và hy sinh gắn liền với nếp sống của người chiến sĩ Việt Nam. Họ gác bút nghiêng công danh, sự nghiệp, gia đình để đáp lên lời sông núi khi đất nước tràn ngập khói lửa của quân thù. Suốt trong lịch sử 4.000 năm, chiến sĩ Việt Nam đã chiến đấu trong can trường để gìn giữ mảnh đất của ông cha, sẵn sàng hy sinh và chấp nhận chia ly. Tôi xin chia sẻ hai câu thơ của Lý Thủy Ý với các anh chị chiến sĩ Việt Nam. Vì tất cả những người trong cuộc chiến đều mỉm cười chấp nhận sự chia ly, vì chúng mình cũng là người trong cuộc chiến. Em không buồn khi tiến bước anh đi. War demands sacrifice and brings separation. Through many generations, sacrifice and separation have characterized life of the Vietnamese soldier. In responding to the call to arms of the country, one put aside education, career, and family when the country is at war and under attack. Throughout Vietnam's 4,000-year warrior legacy, in history, the Vietnamese warrior has persistently and heroically fought to protect his motherland, always readily accepting sacrifice and accepting separation. Let me share with you two verses of the poetry in Vietnam with you. Because of all the people in the war, we smile and accept to be separated. Because we are both in the war, I am not sad in bidding you farewell. The poem describes the love of the young wife for her children, for her husband when she lived. Thưa các anh chị, chúng ta có khi yếu, chúng ta có khi mạnh, nhưng chúng ta không bao giờ thiếu anh hùng. Đó là câu nói của anh hùng Lê Lợi. Dù chúng ta mạnh hay chúng ta yếu, thì dân tộc Việt Nam luôn luôn đấu tranh để bảo vệ và xây dựng, chứ chúng ta không đấu tranh để tàn phá. Ladies and gentlemen, at times we have been strong, at times we've been weak, but we never lack heroes. That's the saying of the Vietnamese hero. We are strong or we weak, the Vietnamese people always fight to defend, to protect, and to build. But we do not fight to plunder or destroy. Các anh chị được thừa hưởng dòng máu oai hùng và can đảm và truyền thống đấu tranh bất khuất của ông cha. Các anh chị mang hình ảnh của những hào kiệt và anh thư đất Việt, với một phong cách tự tại là nhân nhân, chí hướng và chí khí cao ngất trời xanh. Tôi rất hãnh diện được nhìn thấy nơi các anh chị một nếp sống hiện sinh, tâm hồn yêu tự do tranh đấu cho nhân quyền, xây dựng phục vụ cộng đồng với một tinh thần cao khiết. Dear all, you have inherited the heroic virtue, the courage, the indomitable character, and the traditional undaunted struggle and fighting of our forefathers. You have the same stock, image, and character of the Vietnamese heroes and heroines, with a clear sense of purpose, humanity, and an ambition as lofty as the blue skies above. I am very proud to see in each of you a purpose-driven life, a sense of enthusiasm, a caring heart with a love for freedom and for the fight for human rights, and that you are dedicated to serving the public and the community with compassion, zeal, and pureness of heart. Điều đáng hãnh diện hơn nữa là những hoài bão và chí hướng của phụ huynh đã được thực hiện nơi các anh chị. Your parents live through you. Moreover, I am most proud that the vision of your parents, what they have taught you, and the direction and sense of purpose they have instilled in you have been accomplished and complete through you. Your parents now live through you. xin đừng quên đất Việt là mẹ, là quê hương chúng ta. Xin hãy nhớ công ơn của tổ tiên. Mảnh đất đó là nơi ông cha đã sinh thành, đã đấu tranh và sinh tồn. Những hơi thở tự do và nhân quyền phải được tiếp tục liên lụy tranh đấu cho người dân. Please don't forget your Vietnam motherland. You should remember and be grateful for all the work of your ancestors in protecting your historical homeland. Your forefathers were born and raised there, fought and protect the country, endure and die there. We must be persistent and continually fight for the freedom and for the human rights. Xin đừng quên, Hoa Kỳ là một tổ quốc của chúng ta. Chúng ta có bổn phận và trách nhiệm đối với tổ quốc Hoa Kỳ. Các anh chị không những là con dân của Hoa Kỳ mà lại còn là chiến sĩ của Hoa Kỳ. We are soldiers. Chúng ta cần phải bảo vệ, đấu tranh và xây dựng cho tổ quốc Hoa Kỳ. Xin tiếp tục mang truyền thống tốt đẹp của người chiến sĩ mà các anh chị đã thừa hưởng được từ ông cha. Không riêng tôi, tất cả đồng bào Việt Mỹ rất hãnh diện với các anh chị. Please do not forget that the United States is our country. We have a duty and commitment to the United States of America. You are not only a citizen of the United States, but also an honorable soldier and the defender of this great country. We are soldiers. Thank you. We need to protect, to fight and build our American country. Please continue to carry on the outstanding tradition of the soldiers who have preceded you and the heritage that has been passed down to you from your forefathers, and employ them today and here for this country and for this community. The whole Vietnamese community, not just those of us present here today, are very proud and grateful of your service both in the military and within the community. Tôi xin chia sẻ hai câu thơ của Nguyễn Công Trứ để tặng quý anh chị. Chúc tất cả luôn mãi sống trong tinh thần và phong cách của một người chiến sĩ Việt Nam. Có trung hiếu nên đứng trong trời đất, không công danh thả nát với cỏ cây. I would like to share with you two lines from the poem of Nguyễn Công Trứ and offer my best wish to always do your best and be proud of being a Vietnamese American soldier. To stand upon the earth and under heaven, one must have loyalty and lovingly care for one's family and parents. If one doesn't bring accomplishment and honor to your country, one will fade to the grass and trees. In brief, the 4,000-year history and the warrior legacy of Vietnam is a succession of passionate and almost endless struggle for its survival and independence. Vietnam has always persistent, preserved its culture and a national identity. There is a Vietnamese saying, "Văn võ song toàn." Outstanding performance in both literature and martial art. It reflects the tradition of the Vietnamese warriors, displayed excellently in both intellectual scholar and the military arts. The history of Vietnam abounds record of candidates who have passed very difficult national examination and literally contests, but also have performed brilliantly and outstandingly when trusted with a military commanding role. I would like to thank all members of VAAFA for your contribution and sacrifice in the service for the past several years. The Vietnamese American community have witnessed your service for our country, the United States, and your presence in the theater of war, including Desert Storm in Iraq, on battlefield in Afghanistan, and many others. You have supported each other, Vietnamese American soldiers, and shown compassion and sense of community and unity. You have joined in the fight for freedom and human rights, first for the United States, then for our Vietnamese motherland. Thank you very much. As I have, thank you. And is my open message to the Vietnamese American soldier. The VAAFA asking me to share a couple quick tidbits of my in the prison and in the concentration camp. If you would like to hear, I will share with you some quick story in a few minutes. Because I only have limited time. I want to stress that I am not looking for sympathy tonight. My life is full of miracles. I am very blessed and faithful survivor, one of the lucky few. I survived time in combat, in a concentration camp, a journey by boat to fight freedom and the adaptation to a new country. But my story is nothing compared to what millions of other Vietnamese have been through. These individuals who have lost their life will never have a chance to tell their story. There are also people who didn't die during the wars, concentration camp, and didn't make it to the freedom, but they are forgotten or abandoned, and who are living in poverty in the streets of Vietnam, destitute and penniless. As I tell my story, remember when give them your sympathy and your prayers to their family. I was a teenager during the 10th offensive in 1968 and saw the communists penetrate my city and kill my people, kill my uncle, and kill many people of my cousin. I witnessed firsthand people fighting and dying in the backyard. That's how I joined the army. I decided to join to fight for my country, even I get waving, don't have to. One time during a combat mission in the middle of the night, I couldn't sleep and went outside the bunker. Just as I walked several meters away, the VC artillery, rocket and mortar flew overhead and completely destroyed the bunker I just left. Everyone in the bunker was killed. If I hadn't gone outside that moment in the middle of the night, I would have been killed too. 6 months later, when I was still a very novice lieutenant combat officer, and relied on my first sergeant and my unit who very combat experienced. Our company assignment was to protect the front line. One night we found ourselves completely surrounded by the VC enemy, who had substantial number on site. They attacked us. The first sergeant and radio man called for support and artillery units so that they could assist us to take out the Viet Cong force. We would continue to fight from our position. Our air support tried to create an escape path for us. There was no moon on that night. We ran out of the perimeter to a dark, swampy, muddy field and started wading through the thigh-deep, muddy water. As we make our way, we hear field click, click, click. Some of us had stepped on mine, the VC IED. The other soldiers get away one by one. Finally, 4 of us remain, and we know we are step on mine. My first sergeant, the radio corporal, a private, and myself. We took off all of our gear, and then we all jumped back at the same time. There was loud explosion, and we all thrust up to the sky. My ear was ringing. I found my radio corporal had both legs blown off and were bleeding profusely in my arm. The sergeant lost an arm and a leg. And the private, I couldn't see. Next morning, I find out in the medical unit, all of them died, and I survived miraculously. Because we run out short time, I just gave you one more story when I was in the concentration camp, and I will do the closing. I was wounded a few times and finally imprisoned by the communists at the end of the war. I was detained in the communist concentration camp for 5 years, was tortured and nearly killed, and suffer from accident, sickness, and malnutrition. Many people die to the labor and accident. In my camp, half the people died after 2 years. We then combined with another camp. One time I tried to escape, and they found out, and they tortured me several hours. Finally, I was dropped from a height and felt my chin. I heard a loud crack. I felt unconscious. I have broken my jaw, my ribs, slashed my tongue, and damaged my pelvic area. Blood gushed forth from my mouth. They thought I was dead, and they wrapped me in a mat and buried me in the nearby graveyard. Fortunately, the heavy rain on that night washed away most of the soil above my burial hole and created a small opening for air. 2 days later, When the prisoners go work nearby, they find out that I'm agonizing. They dug me out from my grave and they took me home to their camp. Because of my broken jaw, I couldn't eat for a year. So they used their food ration and put in a handkerchief and squeezed juice into my mouth. Laying there under the bamboo bed for almost a year, waiting for my bone to grow back, my back becomes very infected. I can feel 100 of maggots burrowing in my back. I endure much more, survive, but I don't have time to share you more. But at least that is one of the major things when it happened to me when I was in concentration camp. But at least I want to give you one typical day of the Vietnamese prisoner in re-education camp in few minutes. Every morning at 4 a.m. when you hear the bomb shell, you have to light up. If you don't light up, that's at the end of your day. We know who can survive to next day or who cannot come to next day if you don't come up. If you can't go to work on that day, they will put you into the separation home. In the separation home, people line up on each other and wait for dying. I saw so many friends of mine at night, they have to tie themselves to the pole. They sleep standing because they are afraid. Or that night, if they sick, they don't stand up, next day, they will get killed. Finally, I want to do closing. It's just a some story of how I survived, so that you can remember those million soldiers who never have a lucky stand here tell you that story. I have been sharing with you all of those. Finally, at closing, I would like to thank our host, VAAFA, its members, sponsors, and many others who have made this event possible. I commend the VAAFA outstanding initiative and its continued success, both today and in the future. Thank you very much for inviting me to your wonderful and meaningful event this evening. God bless you, God bless your family, and God bless America.
Thank you, Mr. Fan. That was really touching. I think it was very important to hear the stories from the concentration camps. It's really good for us to know. And so we would like to present him with the plaque. And if we can read it. And last but not least, we have our final plaque to present. So our final plaque for Appreciation Award, we want to present to Mr. Tino Din. Mr. Tino, please come up here. We want to present this to you in appreciation of your support and leadership in organizing the 3rd annual VAAFA Fallen Hero Scholarship Fundraiser Banquet. Your tireless effort and dedication helped make the banquet a resounding success. And I'm really glad he's here to help us, because without him, this would not happen. So thank you.
Let's hear it for all the volunteers that helped out with this tonight.
238045.
Do we have a winner? Do we have a winner?
Miss Riggs.
We sure do. Thank you so much, Ann. Thank you. We have one down. Got it? Oh my goodness. Woo. 2 for 2. Good job, Michael. That's the right one. All right, Russian roulette, come on back up there, Cameron. Next, we got a very, very special prize, everybody. It's actually framed from a flag flown over in Iraq from one of our brothers deployed overseas. It's seen battle, everybody. Cameron, who's the lucky winner?
238041.
Do we have a winner? Please come on up and confirm. Thanks. Let's go ahead and see. Let's confirm. Let's confirm. That's a winner. All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Before we get to the last and final prize that we have a very special gift, a donation from a very dear friend of us. She has been very helpful with all of our radios and TVs that we've done here in the DC area. In addition, we want to thank you all, the media, who's very supportive of us so far. And I'm speaking of Go Mai Nguyen. She's been very helpful, and so thank you so much, Go Mai, for your $200 donation. Thank you so much. And also in here we have one from Go Tam Nguyen for $50. Thank you very, very much. So guys, this last prize we're going to have is a very, very special one. This basically is the trifecta. It has the U.S. flag, the Vietnam flag, the signature by Commander Le Ba Hong, and the ball cap from his ship. So this is a very, very special one. When we actually had this event down in Atlanta, one of these frames fetched over $5,000 from one of the people who attended. But tonight, due to the somberness of the occasion, we're not going to do that. This will be a mere raffle. So please, Michael, you're back up. All right, here we go.